doctor, please go to the England changing rooms. The doctor, please go to the England changing rooms. Thank you. Please be standing for the national anthem of Japan.
Wilderspool for the Student Rugby League World Cup game between Scotland and Japan. Student Rugby World Cup has kicked off with a fine victory for France against England, and in the same pool we have the Japanese, a new team to this Student Rugby League World Cup, entering it for the first time against the Scots, experienced competitors and a team that's been together for a few years. So look out for Glenn Tomlinson, the Rugby League Development Officer playing fullback for Scotland, and the captain Mark Burns, an experienced campaigner at Rugby League and also played for Scotland in the Emerging Nations World Cup, coming out with the player of the tournament for the Scots. And it'll be the Japanese to kick off, playing left to right in this first half. The Japanese will be looking to the playmaker, the scrum half, number 7, Greg Mannix from Australia, playing for his adopted country. Mannix preparing to kick off. Referee checks with his touch judges. And we're off. Mannix kicking deep into the Scottish side. Picks up, driven in by the Scots, up to 25. Number 5 scoots off to the blind. Gains 10-15 yards. Burns at halfback. Finds 12 running strong deep into the Japanese. Japanese bringing him down. Burns again looking for his runners. Burns. And the Japanese caught offside there. Too eager or too early on. Takes time. Tomlinson calming his troops down. Thompson to kick for touch after the Japanese caught offside. Gains 15-20 yards. Scots now. 15-20 yards inside the Japanese yard. Burns. Burns to Rush. Rush. To McMillan. Dummies. McMillan throws a loose ball out. He's picked up. Ball kept alive by the Scots. It's out to Bell. Bell's dragged into touch by the covering Japanese defence. Good tackle there by number 13. Takeshi Hashimoto for the Japanese. Be head and feed to the Japanese now. On their own 25. The number 7, Greg Mannix to feed. Mannix to feed the scrum. Mannix feeds the scrum, picks up. Dummies, goes himself. Wrapped up by Sign there, the big number 11 from Scotland. Minomi sets off. Sorry, it's Horseshoe again. Wrapped up by the Scots. The Japanese not going anywhere really. Number 12 driving it in. Good tackling by the Scots there. David Miller from Salford University and the centre. And Mannix, big kick downfield from his own 25. The Japanese not really going anywhere. And that's a good searching kick, finds touch on a 25. Japanese in a bit of a hole there. Mannix deciding to kick downfield and move play into the Scottish half. Well, the Japanese will definitely be looking to Mannix to organise them and get them running. Inexperienced, but I'm sure they'll play with heart and commitment, the Japanese. Rush now to feed the scrum. Rush feeds the scrum. Finds McMillan. McMillan on to Miller. Miller just tackled 5 yards outside the half. And interfering at the play of the ball. Inexperience there again with the Japanese. They've given Scotland too many yards with penalties already, and we've not even played 5 minutes. Thompson showing out to get another 20-25 yards now. Put the Scotch student side on the attack. Thompson brings Scotland up to the halfway line now. Scots will be looking to the big forwards to punch holes in this Japanese defence and probably spin the ball wide, using McMillan and Rush. Rush, who played in the Emerging Nations for Scotland. Burns to Rush, to McMillan. McMillan looking wide. McMillan finds the centre. Centre coming inside, number 3. McMillan again to the big number 10, Kevin Ward. Kevin Rudd taking the play up. Burns finds the number 12. Number 12 driving down just outside the Japanese 25. Burns sets off himself, gains 5-10 yards. Good running from Mark Burns, strong. Number 12, John Conley, goes into the halfback. Burns plays. Lilly finds Rush. Rush finds McMillan. McMillan onto Miller. Miller out to his opposite centre part. John Valentine is in under the sticks for the Scots. 4-0, and really they've been on the couch quite a while. The Scots just seem too big and too powerful for this inexperienced Japanese side. And 4-0 there. Well, the Scots moved the ball out wide well there, and Ballantyne just going in under the sticks. A nice simple try for the Scots there. And it'll be Thompson to attempt an easy conversion from under the sticks. This Scottish side look big, strong and well organised, and they're going to take a lot of stopping today. Well, like I said earlier, Rugby League Student World Cup here and based in England kicked off with a fine victory for France. The Scots will surely try to overtake them with a big win against the Japanese today in Group C of the World Cup, sponsored by Halifax Building Society. Thompson straight between the up Knights, and it's 6-0 for the Scots after 6 minutes. Thompson now to restart this game. Thompson to kick deep into the Japanese half. And let's see what the Japanese can do now. We'll gain possession of this ball. Thompson kicks deep. Oh, that's inexperience again shown in the Japanese side. They've let the ball go dead, and that'll be a dropout under the sticks. They should be waiting on the back line for the deep kick. And I really feel sorry for these Japanese lads. Only in the first 10 minutes, their inexperience is being shown. They really need to listen to Mannix more, and he needs to get them organised. Japan, drop out from one of the sticks. It's a number 13, Chris Houston driving it in, offloads the ball, well picked up by McMillan. McMillan driving for 10 yards out. McMillan gets up, plays the ball. Blee to Miller. Miller driving it in again. Burns now at dummy half. Burns to Cunliffe. To Rush. Rush. Dummies. Finds Thompson round the back. Thompson's offloads. And it's Valentine again in 3-second try. Good play there by Glenn Thompson and Rush. Created the gap. And Valentine, all he had to do really was a stroll over the line. Well, that makes it 10-0 to the Scots now, with only 9 minutes gone. And as I said earlier, I think this could be a roasting for the Japanese. New to Student Rugby League, inexperience showing. This Scots are a very big side. The referee just giving the Japanese a few hints on how to cope with the Scottish side, telling them to try and slow the play down a bit. Thompson now, 15 yards out, wide right to land this goal. A difficult kick, but easily within his range. Glenn Thompson, Scottish Rugby League Development Officer, played in the full international against Ireland last Tuesday. He'll be looking for a good World Cup from this Scottish side, and I've been speaking to some of the Scots during the week, and there's high hopes of the Scottish team. They feel they've got a big, strong, well-organised side, and they think they can have a good run in this World Cup. Thompson. And no, Thompson's just pulled it wide left. Unlucky there, Glenn Thompson now. And the Scots 10-0 up. Japanese now hopefully will have learned from the last mistake they made, and they'll be hugging the dead ball line now, taking this ball on the full and driving it out. Oh, and we have a problem here with the referee. Referee has been forced to change straight. There's a bit of a clash with the Scotch there. And the referee's been forced to change strips. Look at that body. What a body on this referee. Here's Thompson now to kick deep into this Japanese half. Referee restarts Thompson. The restarts, kicks deep into the corner. And the Japanese have done it again. They've let the ball run dead. Oh, and I would have thought they'd have learned from last time. No, it's been kept in. The number one's flicked it in. No, as I thought, the Japanese have let the ball go on dead again. And you would have thought they'd have learned from the last mistake. But unfortunately, they've let the ball bounce and go dead again. Mannix really has to get hold of these Japanese now and hopefully try to explain to them that on the kick-off, if the ball goes dead, they're in trouble. Mannix, drop out. Gathered by McMillan. McMillan to Blee. Alistair Blee, driving in. Wrapped up there by the Japanese number 8. McMillan, dummy half, sets off himself. Good hands up, up. Good tackle there, wrapped up by the number 3 and the number 11. Burns, dummy half. Finds number 13. Sorry, number 12. John Keane Love, driving it in. Love. Quick play the ball. Rush on, a quick play the ball there. Thompson. Thompson driving in. Thompson finds number 8. And it's out again. And Valentine's going to get his hat-trick. Easy, easy, easy for the Scots. All they seem to have to do is take it in once or twice and give it a clean pair of hands. And they're in at the corner. And Greg Valentine completes his hat-trick in only 13 minutes. Well, I can feel it's going to be a baptism of fire for these Japanese in this Student Rugby League World Cup. I think they're going to be on a hide into nothing. They've looked confident in training during the week, but on the park it doesn't seem to be happening for them. Thompson now to attempt the conversion, wide out. Again, this is a harder kick than previously. And he pulled the other one wide right. We'll see what he can do with this. Japanese are under the sticks. I'm sure Mannix will be having a word with them. Tell them just calm down this time. Make sure you gather the ball. And let's keep the ball for a set of 6 and a big kick downfield. The Japanese haven't had this ball in its first 13 minutes. And I think they need to go for a set of 6 to calm the nerves. And hopefully then they can start enjoying this game. Thompson, good attempt. But he's pulled that one wide left. And the score remains now 14-0 to Scotland. Is it going to be third time looking out for the Japanese? Are they going to gather the ball? And without letting it go dead off the restart. Thompson, I'm sure again, they'll be looking to kick deep. If he had his sense, the wide left-hand counter is open and he spotted it and he's gone to kick it dead again, and the Japanese have let the ball go dead again. I spotted it, but the Japanese did not, and they're going to have to drop out from under the sticks again. Inexperience really showing through on this Japanese side. Thompson taking full advantage of these Japanese. Mannix to drop out for the third time now under his 6. Mannix, a little chip kick, well, the Japs going to regather. Oh, that's knocked on by Mannix and knocked on by the Scots. Double knock on there, I think. And it'll be a head and feed to the Scots. It'll be rushed to feed the scrum. McMillan's looking to put on a move on here, bring his backs into play. Rush, feed to scrum. Picks up the attack, the blind rush, there's an overlap, and it's a stroll in for Stuart McCarthy. Stuart McCarthy runs round over the sticks, and the Scots now 18-0 up. Well, I think this is going to be the pattern of the game, personally. The Japanese are just being overrun by this Scottish side. The Scots have too much know-how of rugby league for them, really. And I can see a cricket score being run up today, unfortunately. It's sad to say, but I think it's on the cards. Thompson now to attempt the conversion from under the sticks.
That is definitely...
That's the... What are you doing?
Thompson straight between the uprights, and a good conversion by Thompson. Well, they've done it for the last 3 times now. Thompson's kicked the ball dead, and is he going to manage it again? Surely Japanese will have woke up to what Thompson's trying to do. Mannix is telling him to keep back on the dead ball line and gather the ball. Oh, come on, these Japanese, get on this ball, let's see what they can do. Thompson, oh, he's kicked it short. It's just gone 10 and it's gathered by Valentine. Valentine plays the ball. And the Japanese offside again. Inexperience showing again. And the Scots, are they going to attempt the goal? No, they're running it. There's mismove to Rush. Rush to McMillan. McMillan to Miller. Miller driving in, wrapped up by number 11, number 13. McMillan, half-back. Finds Kevin Rudd. Rudd, powerful running. Wrapped up by Mannix. Scots now, third tackle. They hit the blind, they switch inside. And number 13 wrapped up there by the Japanese number 2, Mannix again. Burns to Rush. Rush to McMillan. McMillan looking for Thompson. McMillan dummies going through. McMillan offloads to Thompson. Thompson, and he's wrapped up just so, but that's back to 1. Rush. Rush finds a big number 12 and he's put the ball down. A try for John Cunlinley, a Great Britain Students International from Crewe University. And again, this is looking like a cricket score. Simple power play there by John Cunlinley. just going straight over there. That's making the score 22-0. I think Thompson can class this game as a goal-kicking exercise, really, for the hard attacks to come against friends in England. Thompson now, at 25 yards out. His kicking from under the sticks has been well, but from wide out, he hasn't really found his form yet. Thompson now to attempt the conversion to make the score 24-0 for the Scots with only about 20 minutes played. Thompson composed himself, looking at the sticks, drills up, good attempt, but again he's just pulled it wide left. Now surely this time the Japanese are going to wake up and hopefully get hold of the ball. Again, they've left miles and miles and miles of space for Thompson just to trickle the little ball into. Scott's jockeying him back. Thompson to restart this game. Thompson restarts deep. It's caught in goal by the Japanese, and the Japanese run out. It's the number 6, Akira, wrapped up there by McMillan and Cumlunley. The number 10 scoots from dummy halves, wrapped up again by the same pair. Mannix, bad ball goes backwards. No, the referee says it was a forward pass. Mannix just couldn't hold on to that ball. And the Scots will gain position inside the Japanese 25. Rush feeds a scrum. Rush finds McMillan. Run around with Ballantyne. Finds Miller, but Miller's dropped the ball on a tackle. Good tackle, and it's gathered by the Japanese number 11, Yashiro Kaneda. Kaneda plays the ball. Number 13 making 5 yards there. Now at half back, Masuto Minami. Dummies. Finds the big number 10. Ifine Ishibashi drives up. And it's the number 6 now, Akira. Wrapped up in the tackle there by 2 Scots. Mannix caught in possession by Ballantyne. Good tackling by Ballantyne there. Mannix plays the ball. Minomi finds the number 3. Good kick downfield. Thompson picks the ball up inside his own 25. Looking for support. Thompson driving in, but wrapped up by the number 3 there. Keno corner. Good tackle by corner. McCarthy sets off on a running side. McCarthy skips 1, skips 2. McCarthy's through. McCarthy up to the halfway, looking for support. There's no one there. And he's brought down by Kasiaka. They quickly play the ball now. Call up. It's to the big number 8, Scott Gilmore. Good tackle there. Coming from the Japanese. It's to Rush. Rush finds Thompson to McMillan. McMillan's quick hands to Miller. Miller's got to stroll in. And Ballantyne's got to get over for number 4. John Ballantyne from Edgehill College gets ground, and that's try number 4. A good set passage of play by the Scots, breaking tackles and moving the ball well. Miller putting his centre partner Ballantyne in to make the score now 26-0. The Japanese, I think they've settled down now, the nerves have gone. It showed there what they can do. They move the ball a little bit and they tackle hard. The Scots, I think organisation was good. The Scots have started this game really well. with Rush and McMillan orchestrating the middle of the park, and the strong rolling forwards of like Combe Lonely and Rudd. This Scottish side looks strong and well disciplined, and they are playing well. Thompson, and he's pulled that one wide left, and Glenn Thompson did not bring his kicking boots with him today. Thompson to restart now. Thompson kicks deep. Oh, and the Japanese have touched it dead. Oh, is it straight out? Oh, straight out on the full there. I think the linesman being a bit lenient towards the Japanese, but well left then if he knew it was going dead. Good play there by the Japanese number 6, letting the ball go dead. Mannix now on halfway to give to the Japanese possession and the Scottish off for the first time, and let's see what the Japanese can do. Thompson fires a touch just outside the 10-yard line. Minomi to tap the ball. Minomi finds Sheeder. Sheeder straight up the middle. Good tackling there by the Scotstow. Well wrapped up by Houston. Yes, offside there. Valentine just over eager. Caught not square at marker. And this gives the Japanese a good chance now, hopefully, to get on the scoreboard. Test this Scottish defence. Minomi. And it's the big number 11. Kineda driving it in. Minomi, dummy half. Finds Mannix. Mannix. To the big number 13. Slips a tackle, but wraps up there by McMillan. Mannix to the big number 8. Big note, drives straight up the middle, straight into Rudd. Big clash in centre field, and I think Rudd comes out on top there. Minomi. So Mannix, the mismove, run outside here, but good tackle by McCarthy. McCarthy wrapping up the Japanese centre, out wide there. Bear the ball, Mannix, a little grubber kick through, Thompson's watching it, Thompson picks up side goal, got a little tackle by Mannix, and that'll be a drop out on the sticks. Good play there by Mannix, kicking into the in-goal area, and a good chase by the Japanese there. For tackling Thompson behind his line, and there'll be a drop out onto the sticks now. A bit of pressure being put on these Scots now by this Japanese side. They've settled down and they're beginning to play a little bit. Thompson kicks out, picks up by the number 2, Nakayama runs straight into Miller there. Number 13 picks up. Sets off again. This number 13 lights running from dummy half. Minomi. Finds Mannix to the number 10. Wrapped up by Combe Lumley in the centre field there. Minomi. To the fullback. Katakoko tackled by Combe Lumley again. Mannix. Switching play. Mannix. A good tackle there in the centre field, but he get the ball out. Minomi slips the ball to the number 2. Number 2, Nakayama into the corner. Excellent try for Japan. And they've been threatening now for the last 5 minutes. They've been putting some pressure on the Scottish side. And the winger, Yasuno Nakamiure, is over in the corner. And that brings the biggest cheer out of our half-pack Wilderspool today. Good try there. Miller slipped the ball, and it was moved swiftly out to the winger, Ishuno Nakiruma, who dived over in the corner. And the Japanese are on the board. And hopefully that'll give some confidence, and they'll be into play a little bit more. Mannix. Of the Malmaninga style. It's a good attempt. Straight between the uprights. Excellent click by Greg Mannix. And that brings the score now to 26-6. Mannix to restart now. Hopefully the Japanese can get on a roll now and get some more points on the goal and make a real game of this. The Scots' experience showing in the first 15 minutes when they played well, but now the Japanese, hopefully that try behind them, can get back into this game. And it's a short kick up, and it's fumbled there, and it's picked up by the Japanese, up to them. The Scottish 25, number 13 again going from dummy half, but good tackling there from Houston. Houston took man and ball there. Minomi, dummy half, Minomi. Switches to Mannix, Mannix to the big number 8, runs straight into the number 15, Rich Ribeiro from Leicester, another Great Britain Students International. Mannix at dummy half, switches play to the number 11. Number 11 trying to bury his way through there. Wraps up, engulfed in a 3-man tackle by the Scots. Minomi. Minomi fires Mannix, Mannix. The little kick through, it's picked up there, goal by the Scottish players. The Scottish number 8, Scott Gilmore from Dundee University. Gilmore plays the ball. Picks up there, good yards there by the Scottish players. Up towards the halfway line. The number 13 offloads in a tackle, and they weren't looking there, the Scots. It's the number 15, the sub, Rich Ribeiro. Sloppy play there. Good. Moves it out wide to Thompson. Thompson slips the ball inside. Good ball outside Valentine. Valentine over the top to McCarthy. Oh, McCarthy slips it inside to Thompson. And that's back to on there. Scott's keeping the ball alive well. It's number 13, Houston. Good tackling there by the Japanese. Ball to McMillan. McMillan to Rush. McMillan to Ribeiro. Ribeiro on to Cornwall. And it's a good ball out to number 14. And Chris Norris is over. Chris Norris scores for the Scots. And the crowd is baying. They thought there was a forward pass in there, but the referee judged that it come off a Japanese hand. And Chris Norris is in there for the Scots. Scots now switching the lead to 30 points to 6. And there'll be a change in kicker. Mike Rush, who played in the Emerging Nations from Edgehill College, is to take over the kicking from Graham Thompson. And Graham Thompson definitely didn't bring his kicking boots with him. And let's see if Rush has left him on the coach as well. Rush, 15 yards out, left-footed, composing himself. Rush to attempt the conversion. Rush strikes it. And he's just got the legs between the uprights. And that takes the score to 32 points to 6. The Scots have made a few changes during the last 10 minutes. Burns has gone off, Norris is on. And Rudd has been given the duties of half-back. Thompson, kicks deep. Gathered by Mannix. Mannix driving it in. Well tackled by Houston and Smythe. Mannix plays the ball. The number 15 for the Japanese, Yashuna Nakachishika. Driven in, but good tackling again by the Scots. Minomi finds the number 13. Strong run in the number 13, getting numerous rounds. Hashimoto, but again wrapped up by Comley. Minomi, the dummy again. To the big number 8, but wrapped up there by Roddin. Just centre field, 5 yards from the halfway line. Minomi, dummies. To the number 6. The number 6 kicks downfield. A fine touch. Just outside the Scottish try line. Sorry, a correction there. The number 4 with a good kick there for the Japanese. Pinning Scotland down inside their own half. Inside their own 10-yard line, should I say. And they'll be rushed to feed the scrum now. Feed to scrum. Finds McCarthy. McCarthy very fast and he's broken again. McCarthy breaking tackles one after the other. Good cover tackling there by Japanese number 3. Flip place to McMillan. McMillan. Oh, and surely a knock on there. Surely a knock on there, yes. The ball tries to be played inside by Scott Gilmore. And Japanese number 4, Yakatuka, knocked it down and thought he had a run in, but rightly brought back by the referee. That'll be Scotland's head and feed. 5 yards inside their own half. Again, Rush will be feeding the scrum and be looking for McMillan to unleash the backs. The backs have a considerable size difference over the Japanese. Rush feed to McMillan. McMillan. The run around again with Ballantyne. Missed move. Thompson back on the inside. Wraps up there by the number 4 and the number 15 for Japan. Good. To Cornlove. Cornlove driving in. Drops it off inside to Ribeiro. Ribeiro. Good yards. Good yards by Ribeiro. Carrying 2 free tacklers. Well tackled by the number 13. Rudd. To Rush. Rush juggles. Drop the ball. And that's a knock on there. Rush dropping the ball there, and it'll be Mannix to feed the scrum. 15 yards inside his own, inside the Japanese half. Bit of a problem with the scrum here, but it's down eventually. Mannix feeds, but it's one against the head by the Scots. Rush to Thompson. Thompson to Blee. Blee. Driving in, good yards, Blee breaking tackles, but good tackling again by the number 13. Houston picks up, drives from dummy half. Excellent textbook tackle there by the number 15. Rudd to Rush. Rush finds Norris. Norris driving it in, good tackling though by the Japanese number 11. Kaneda. Rudd to Houston. Houston straight up the middle. And is he over? No, good defence there. Good defence by the Japanese. Rudd. Halfback. Finds McMillan. Millen, run around. Ribeiro, straight up the middle. Good tackling again by the number 11 and number 3 from Japan. Rudd finds Thompson. Thompson. The little chip over top, going to McGallagher. Thompson gathers. Good try. Good individual skill shown there by Glenn Thompson. The little chip over. Rose high to take the ball and touchdown for the Scots, making the score 36 points to 6. The Japanese now are making it a lot harder for the Scots. The Scots are playing well and the Japanese have upped the game a little bit. They've got into this game now. Confidence is beginning to show. They're making the tackles that they were missing earlier now. And they're retaining ball possession as well, which is crucial at this level of rugby league. Rush, 1 out of 1 now. Taking over the kicking duties from Graham Thompson. Comes back, composes himself. Rush. Set himself. Strikes the ball, left-footed. Straight between the uprights again. That's another 2 points for Scotland, and Scotland now up 38 points to 6. Coming up to half-time. Thompson restarts. Good deep kick. Oh, that's unlucky by the Japanese there. Fumbled in the in-goal area by the number 13. There'll be a drop out under the sticks. Oh, I thought he kicked 4. Oh, he kicked 2 from the sticks. Mannix to drop out from one of the sticks. Mannix restarts. Gathered by Rush. Rush to the number 11, Jason Smythe. Smythe plays the ball. McCarthy sets off from dummy half. McCarthy skipping tackles again. And there's a Japanese player injured in backfield there. I've just been told there's a correction in the score. My assistant unfortunately missed a conversion by Graham Thompson early on, so a correction in the score. It is now Scotland 40 points, Japan 6. Japanese player injured in backfield there. I can't see who it is at the minute, but he's receiving tension from both the Scottish and the Japanese physio. But in the meantime, it's Scotland inside the Japanese 25. They're looking to put on some more points here. I'm sure points difference is going to be crucial in this group, with the Japanese yet to play England and France. The Scots will be looking for a good score to put them clear at the top of the group. As I say, the format for the World Cup, the top 4 teams out of the 3 groups will go through to play in the World Cup. The next 4 are going to play in the World Ball, and the last 4 are going to play in the World Plate. So points difference could be crucial in this tight group, with the 3 home nations really, France, England and Scotland, and our friends from Japan. Japanese players back on his feet now. It's looking good. No, sorry, it's looking bad. He's been carried off the field. So rapturous applause by the crowd. I still can't see his number, but as soon as I get news of him, I'll inform you. The player who's carried off is going to be replaced by the number 12, coming back on, Ganji Ishida. The Japanese injured player just leaving the field now, and the still unfortunately can't see his number. In the meantime, it's Smythe, straight up the middle. Rudd, dummy R. The dummy, the mismade. Oh, he's dropped the ball! A knock on there by Rudd. Oh, penalty there. Not square at marker, Rudd. Pass McMillan. Houston. Oh, nearly picked off there, but it was knocked on. Colm Lilly. Straight up the middle, hands off one. Oh, good tackle there by the Japanese. Number 12. Colm Lilly injured in the tackle. Good tackle there. Lilly plays the ball. McMillan to Houston. Finds Ballantyne. Sorry, should I say Blee? Blee driving towards the line, and Blee scored. Strength and from Blee there, the Scottish winger, moving into the centre now with Ballantyne coming up, and that makes the score now 44 points to 6. Blee there showing his strength, driving over with 2 men on his back. Rush now will be hoping to keep up his 100% record. Probably the easiest of his kicks so far. And it looks like an injury to one of the Scottish players there, and it looks like Colm Lilly is injured. He took a knock and a tackle back for the number 12, Ganji Ishida, and it looks like he's going to have to leave the field, unfortunately. He's been a strong runner for the Scots, but it looks like he's coming off. Order, as I speak, there's a tactical change here. No, not a tactical change. Captain Mark Burns. Let's give it up. And it's now Rush. Straight between the uprights again, and Rush 3 out of 3 now. And there's a sad side to Colm Lilly to leave the field injured. He's replaced by Steve Bealey, a strong running forward from Lancaster University. Score now moves on to 46 points to 6. Thompson to restart. Kicking deep. Gathered by the number 5, Kenito Kamiwaki. Good yards there by the Japanese winger. Up to the halfway line, to the 25-yard line. Number 12, scooting from dummy half. Racks up by McMillan. Number 13 again, good yards up the middle there. Play the ball. The dummy, good flat ball for the number 11 there. Kamida, but good again, good tackling by the Scots. Bailey there, fresh legs, get in there with a good tackle. Bailey replacing Colm Lilly, and it looks like he's it's recurrence of an old ankle injury for the Scottish number 12, an experienced campaigner, and it's a sad sight to see him go off. A good meantime, and a good kick there by the Japanese, pinning the Scots back inside their own half. Sorry, their own 25 now. Oh, the Japanese surely now will want to keep the Scots pinned down for once in this game. They'll be rushed to feed the scrum. Rush. Feeds the scrum. Picks up. Finds McMillan. McMillan running across. Wrapped up by the number 12. Ishida. Plays the ball. It's number 13 there. Houston going nowhere. Good tackling again by the number 12. Road to Bailey. Bailey's first touch. Good yards by Bailey, but again, good tackling by the Japanese. Number 15, number 13 in there, Rod. Finds Ribeiro. Good yards by Ribeiro. Wrapped up though by Mannix. Good, McMillan, the run around, centre field. That's a good ball, straight through the gap there. Oh, the dummy by Valentine, and it's going to be number 5. Try number 5 for John Valentine from Edgell. And he must think it's Christmas playing against these Japanese. 5 tries in one half. 50 points to 6 now. That's the half century up for the Scots. Rush now an easy conversion from one of the sticks to keep his 100% record up and bring the score up to 52 points to 6. Japanese going to have to regroup behind the post. They've showed signs that they can score, but unfortunately the Scots are just proving too powerful and too organised for them. Scots playing well, and it's Rush from one of the sticks. An easy conversion, that's 4 out of 4 for Rush, and that moves the score on to 52 points to 6.
I'll try first round of 7 points.
Thompson to restart. Thompson. Kicks deep. And it's the winger, the number 5, Kimoke. Gathers again. And again makes good yards. And he's got the tackle! Down early, and Overman just grabs him and puts him into touch. Good break there from the Japanese winger, Kanaro Kamioka. And the referee's blown for half-time there. A good half from the Scots. And they can look back at the half and say they've played some good rugby, but also the Japanese can look back in reflection. They've battled hard, they've tackled well, and they've scored probably one of the best tries of the game.
Okay, we're getting ready to kick off now in the second half. All the crowd were thoroughly entertained at half-time by the Student Rugby League Bay and 1 or 2 of the ball boys who managed to kick a few conversions, which is something Scotland found quite difficult to do in the first half. Hey, Scotland about to resume, and at the moment they're leading 52 points to 6. And even though one might consider the Japanese to be somewhat weak opposition at any level of rugby league or at any level of rugby whatsoever, to score 52 points in one half is quite good. So the Scots are certainly up for this and have shown that they haven't treated the preparation for this game lightly whatsoever. Okay, so Thompson restarts the game. deep into the Japanese half. Somewhat messily, the Japanese pick the ball up and take it away. A good two-man tackle, one over the top. The referee standing over to play the ball just to see things run a bit more smoothly this half. And the Japanese take the ball out for the second tackle. Good ball out on the Japanese. Oh, the Japanese slipped the ball well in the tackle, as he did once or twice in the first half, one time leading to the try. Mannix there, grounded, so probably 40 metres out from his own line. But the Japanese are really going to struggle with tackles like that coming in from Ribeiro. Mannix again. He really is the playmaker behind this Japanese team. He really tries his heart out and must cover every blade of grass, one would think, throughout the duration of the game. And again, a kick comes in. This time Thompson feels it, and under the Super League rules, this will be the 0 tackle. And there it is. Japanese well back on side. They're extremely fit athletes, and just with a little bit more practice, a little bit more experience, they really will become a force, one would hope, in the world of rugby league. So the first tackle there for Scotland, he made plenty of yards there, and the number 8 takes it up. Thrown to the ground. Burns moves it out through his standoff. Onto a powerful second row. That was some good running. Just runs over the fullback, but he's brought down in a good cover tackle. There's a Japanese player down in backfield and a Scotsman tying his boots. I think he'll be okay as the number 8 goes over. Okay, a super try there by Scott Gilmore from the Dundee University. The big man just came onto the fly. There was no way they were going to stop him from that distance out. They're always on the back foot, the Japanese. And the Scots, yet again, asserting their authority on this game, and now they go into a 56-6 lead. I think it really is fair to say at this time they really are 50 points better than the Japanese. But one's really got to hope that the Japanese can get over the try line themselves again before the end of the game. If not, just to get the crowd a bit warm. They've certainly got the support of the crowd. Burns again taking over the kicking duty with his left-footed action. Just gives himself a bit of a loosen before he comes up. I just wonder what's going on behind the Japanese sticks now, what words of wisdom Max Mannix, or Greg Mannix rather, can be passing on to them. As Rush hooks it wide this time. So there's unsuccessful as a conversion attempt. The score remains 56-6. That's the first miss for Rush. He was quite successful when he came on at the end of towards the second part of the first half. That's his first miss. So I wonder if we'll see yet another change in the Scottish kicking duties. So we're getting ready to resume the game. The Scots kick deep. It's been a good tactic that they've adopted well today, but this time the Japanese have fielded it and they're running it out strongly, and that's quite a good run. 19 metres out from his try line. But a bad mistake there. Went backwards, unfortunately, for the Japanese, and that'll be the second tackle. Mannix passes the ball out to the big prop, who takes it up. He's done that all day. He really has worked hard. I don't think he's going to get much joy from the Scottish defence getting through there, but at least he's had a go and he's taking the ball in. The fourth tackle now. The Japanese barely 30 metres outside their own try line, but they're keeping going, and that'll be the fifth tackle. No, correct, I must have been wrong, it's a fourth, but they're running it. The man's away. A lovely slip pass inside. Superb rugby there by the Japanese. The crowd really warmed to that. That was good action. And Mannix, from the acting half-back position, takes the ball and a chip over. A bit unorthodox there from the Scottish right winger. But it works. It certainly worked for the Japanese, as they've got to put in now. Under the Super League rules, the ball's 20 metres in from the start of the scrum, and that'll be Japanese head and feed. So the Japanese will be looking to win this ball. They lost one against the head in the first half, I think, and if they lose this, they'll be unlucky because they're in an excellent attacking position. So the scrums get ready to pack down. The Scots know that they want a clean sheet in this second half. But the Japanese do well and they win the ball. Moving out to the right. The electrifying pace there of the number 5. Quick off the mark, certainly. Oh, that was a good crash ball, but he was well taken. The mark assistant, the Scots have played well all day. They've not treated this with any complacency whatsoever. They've come to do a job, and that's to win the World Cup, and that includes every game that they play in. As the Japanese spin the ball back to the left. Oh, loose pass. Valentine picks it up. He's had a good game. He scored 5 tries. He played the ball out. A good tackle. Oh no, he's missed him. He's gone. He's made some breaks all game. Superb play by Stuart McCarthy. He's going to go, and that's a full 80-metre run. He's done exceptionally well. Oh, he nearly caught there. The Japanese have got some heart. No, the Super League players often don't chase back quite with such enthusiasm. Certainly not when they're 50 points down. But McCarthy just about had the legs. Get away from the tackle from Mannix, and he went 80 metres there. Scored under the post. Well done. Ross surely must score with this one. It's bang under the posts. They'll want every point they can get, because there may be some problem with point difference towards the end of the competition, because this is quite a strong, competitively close group with England, Scotland, and of course the French, who were successful over England earlier today. That's going to be a really interesting group come the end of the group phase. So following McCarthy's second try, Rush converts and he's back on a roll with his kicking. Some news has just come in that the London Broncos are up against Wigan, and that's really good news, especially if you're a St Helens fan. But for the moment, we're concentrating on this game in hand here, and the Scots are about to recommence the game by kicking off to Japan. I just hope the Japanese can keep their heads up, keep doing what they're doing at the moment, and just try and get their tackle to make a little bit more impact. So looking very dusty in the middle of Wilderspool here. Been a long summer, probably 12 straight months this pitch has been played on for now. The rest of the field looks in pretty good nick as the Japanese work their way out of the 25 again. They must have spent probably 90% of the game inside their own half, but they're still coming. There he goes again, the big guys. As I say, they've not got so far with the drives, but they've come time and time again. That takes some doing when you're getting beaten like this. But the Scots, to the credit, they've defended well, they've stuck to the task in hand, and they've got a good scoreline in their favour for the Troubles. Good switch by Mannix. The Japanese number 10 thrown to the ground there. He needs to speed that play the ball up. As the Japanese kick forward and chase. They certainly have chased the kicks today, the Japanese. That's something that they can be proud of, the fact that they've chased the kicks, and they've certainly held the Scots end for 1 or 2 tackles. It's just after that that they seem to have let things slip. As it's Stuart McCarthy again, he's had an impressive game. He's certainly come fired up for this tournament, and he's done really well there, gaining about 35 metres. Scots go forward again. That was a superb tackle. Really good. Good technique, and I think he's done some damage there maybe, unless he fell over on a bit of rough ground. As the Scots move the ball out wide, and surely, yes they do, they go over for another try. I think that'll bring the score to 66 points to 6. And an excellent try. I can't quite tell who scored that at the moment. Seems to be David Miller, the Scottish centre. Miller, a student at Salford, has done well. The Salford team have done well this year, winning the first division. Now they're promoted to Super League, and a Salford University player scores a try today for the Scottish students. Rush should be doing well to kick this. It's a left-footed kick, and it's on his wrong side, naturally wrong side. But I've certainly seen him kick these, and he's definitely capable of just slotting this one over. Whether he does or not, I don't know. I wouldn't really say there's too much pressure on him, but it's good kicking practice for both him and Graham Thompson. So Rush steadies himself, makes his run up, strikes the ball. Not a bad effort, but just slightly wide. So what can the Japanese do now? They've certainly had enough practice at taking the ball from this position. So let's see if they can do something with it now as the Scots prepare to kick off again. Just clearing the pitch of all the water people, water carriers, because it has been hot out there today. The Scots have waited a long time in the sun before the game, and they'll be needing to take lots of fluid on. Roche kicks off, a shorter kick this time. Oh, what a crunch of a tackle. His head just flew back then as the contact was made. They really are struggling. But it's good to see the rugby league being played in places like Japan. We need things like this. That was a big tackle. A little bit of rough stuff. Ribeiro made a crunch tackle there. But he maybe shouldn't have been penalised most probably for the flop. Referee didn't deem necessary, but the Japanese are still going forward. You're keeping going, a good run, good hit and spin, they turn and pass, good rugby. Just need to see a little bit more of it, and then they'll be going forward a lot more often. The standoff's had a fine game as he kicks through. It's taken by the Scottish player, and that'll be the 0 tackle in the tackle count. This will be the first one. First tackle made. That was a good run, really. 10 metres. As it's played back, taken up. Ribeiro manages to fall over. You won't be very pleased with that. It's passed out by the Scots. Rush, he's jinking it. Oh! Rush timed his pass just delayed a little bit too long, and there was an interception opportunity there, but it just was not forward. That was unlucky. It did knock his boot before it hit the ground, but the rules of the game state that if it comes off his hand and it's out of control, then that's deemed to be a knock-on. Unfortunately, they've had 1 or 2 possible interception opportunities today. We've certainly got a lot to work on, the Japanese, a lot of promise as we've seen. As the packs are coming together now. Ross just marshalling his troops, telling them what he wants as he puts the ball into the scrum. Comes out a blindside move, a good move. Rush, superb ball to McCarthy. He's got some good legs. He's got, a tremendous tackle. Superb tackle, but they've got to roll. And again, the fullback, the crowd are rising to this. Well played, the fullback. But they do spin it out. The Scots, there it goes again. Oh, a hit, a bit wayward. A little bit wayward, right? The idea was there. But they pick it up, they tidy up. And the Scots, really, I do fancy them. Certainly against England, and I do think they'll give the French one mighty game. But the referee notices a little bit of a knock on there, and no matter how small it is, it certainly counts. And he's taking them back now for a scrum, which will give the head and feet to the Japanese. Ball goes into the scrum, a bit scrappy, but the Japanese get it out, and that's the main thing. A good movement, but where will that go? That's going to go, this could be the try. Oh no, it just ran out of room. Good cover defence by the Scots, but you know, when you're 60 points down and you're trying things like that, that shows that they're willing to give this game a go. The confidence they must have in their own ability, even though they're 60 points to the worst. They're doing very well. As another Scot comes off. 4 substitutes are allowed in this tournament with unlimited interchange then from then on in. Scots have used that to good effect today. A superb tackle, but the Japanese player has 1 injured in backfield. He came in with a crunch tackle, but unfortunately came off second best. The physical contact to this game is just second to none. They do wear pads, but nothing in any way like those worn in American football. There's certainly no metal or plastic helmets. It's all sponge. And all it does really is reduce slightly the impact. And when you're going in like the injured player did there, you're bound to get injured every now and again. And unfortunately, this is one of those times. Good opportunity for the rest of the boys to get some water on now. And the Scots, they're maybe not quite as happy with the performance in this half. A few bad passes going out, and they're certainly not scoring at anything like the rate they were doing earlier on in the game. Mannix also taking the opportunity to try and pass on anything at any stage of the game to these players, just to give them that little bit more. The Japanese packing down very low this time as he put the ball in, but they lose it unfortunately against the head and feed, and the Scottish number 10 seem to be playing in a scrum half role then, pick the ball up. So Kevin Rudd's got more strings to his bow than we thought at first. But a bad knock on there. That's something that the Scots really will need to get out of the game before they come against the bigger opposition in the English, the French and anybody else they meet in the later stages. The Japanese, oh, they're there. Did it the scrum, they formed before the Scots. That's good to see. Can they hold the weight this time? Yes, it's in, it's out, and it's passed out to the centre. A good inside move there, but just lacking that little bit of penetration as it's played back and taken up by the number 10. He's had a fair game in terms of work rate. He's really worked hard, and as he goes down, that's a second tackle. Mannix just telling his players what he wants, and here comes another forward. Superb run, and really took it in, put his body on the line there, but thrown to the ground. Again, they keep going forward. It's very basic, but it's been effective this time. They've gone 25 metres there in 4 tackles. They're doing well. Turned inside. 5 straight one-up hits there, but it's working for the Japanese, and this is what they really need to do. They've got to concentrate now. Comes out this time, through a couple of pairs of hands. Oh, but a loose pass there, picked off, and it was intercepted. That'll be the 0 tackle. McCarthy is here, there, everywhere today, scoring tries and saving them. Seems a bit out of wind there, maybe he landed on the ball. Japanese are flying in still. The Scots move up, the number 14. Superb tackle. Maybe not the best technique in the world, but he went down. Ribeiro takes it up. Steps out of 2 tackles. Not the third. The third man drags him down by the shorts. Comes out. Good drive there from the ruck, nothing happening, so he just stuck it up his jumper and went. That'll be the captain, Mark Burns. Back to Rush. Puts a deep kick in. Well fielded by the Japanese. That's a good kick though by Rush. You get nothing in rugby league nowadays for putting the ball into touch, so what old Rush did there was weigh up the options, and that's a fine kick. That'll be the 0 tackle though. I don't know what's going on here. I think he's playing musical statues. No, he's up, he's playing the ball. That's the first tackle. Back it goes, and the Japanese drive it out again. That's a good drive, but he's lost it. But I think maybe went backwards. No, the referee's blown up for an infringement somewhere. He's given a knock on against the Japanese. That was unlucky. The crowd not quite happy with the referee. They're certainly on the side of the underdog today, as one would expect, but the Scots, to the credit, are playing well, and the Japanese certainly are making more of a game of it in the last 10-15 minutes as he put the 3-man tackle in there. He was going nowhere. Superb defence. He comes out. A good drive by the prop forward. He's looking for his second try. All prop forwards like to score, but he's not going over there. Mark Burns left with no option there. He just stuck it up, and it comes out again through Rush to Ribeiro. I think a good tackle, a nice little ankle tap. Ribeiro couldn't keep his feet, but a good quick play the ball, and there's a try for the number 10. He's really worked hard today. Kevin Rudd, that's his try. He's worked hard for that. I said earlier he was playing in the scrum half position, so he's played prop, scrum half, and he scored a try. Well done to him. 70 points to 6. It's been a long time since Warrington spectators have seen a score in anywhere near this. That's for sure. Rush shouldn't have any problem with this conversion. But the Scots, they're taking on water. They know this game's won, but they certainly don't want to run down their energy stores any more than necessary. They'll take on the water during this game just as they would in a game if they were winning by 2 points. So Roche again steadies himself, strides up. 2 points. Not the most convincing kick, but it all counts all the same. Getting quite a points tally now is Mike Rush in this tournament. Certainly these games are going to help produce the tournament's leading point scorer. And I dare say that at this stage it looks likely that one of them, or the eventual winner, may come from this group. So the Scots get ready again to kick off. They've moved the ball slightly out of the dust pit there in the middle. As Rush, left-footedly, boots the ball down the field. And the superb take, that's something that they couldn't quite do in the first half, but they learned, and he takes a big tackle there. But he gets up. It's taken away. The Scots are defending well, they're drifting well, and they're moving well from marker. The number 10 again, I said earlier, he's taking the ball up well, he's just shown again. Let's see if he can play the ball a bit faster this time. And he does. Mannix gets it out, well done. And he's coming out, but just held there. You're going to get no joy from those two combination of players, both playing the front row for Scotland. They know how to tackle. Mark Burns again, an experienced player, hard player. Japanese, they forced a kick, and that's looking like a good kick. It bounces, and it stays in field. No, it doesn't, sorry, it goes out. Scots opting to let that out. Felt maybe if they picked it up, they'd have been risking a foot on the line. So the Scots will get the feed, 20 metres in under the Super League laws. Both sets of players somewhat slower to move to the scrum now than they were in the first 2 or 3 minutes. The heat, there's not much air about tonight in Warrington, but they're doing very well. Ball goes in, out again. Scottish players take away a good handoff, but he was caught in the end. Chris Norris, yeah, good drive. Again, the Scots, 2 tackles, they made 40 metres. They won't be doing that against England and France, I don't think, but for now, they're playing the Japanese, and that's what's happening. The Japanese, third tackle, to the credit, they're defending as though the lives depend on it now. Burns shows his hands, but he's thrown to the ground. Mannix and Byrne, 2 of the most influential players on the pitch there, coming head to head. As Rush takes it in, a superb inside ball. He's determined to get his second try, the Scottish number 8, Scott Gilmore. Rush drags a fit play over to the left, and that was easy. Walking day procession there. Valentine's 6th try, that must be some kind of record within the 4 Student World Cups which have been played. I doubt that any player has ever scored 6 tries before. He'll be pleased with himself. That's 2 hat-tricks. Will he have to get 2 rounds in tonight at the bar? They're still keeping the intensity down there. The Scottish players talking amongst themselves. The water's coming on again. They're keen for this. The Japanese, what on earth can they be saying behind the touchline, behind the goalpost rather? They must be disheartened. So Ross looking to add to his points tally. And he does. Good kick there by Rush. No pressure on him really whatsoever. But he just slotted it over anyway. So yet again, the Scots, 78 points to 6 to the good, restart the game. The Japanese take it. That was a bit high to me. Possibly should have been blown up, but the Japanese played the ball for the number 8 again. He's spinning away, he's doing his best just to get away from the Scots, but they're swarming all over him. Third tackle. We need to get up and play it quickly. That's better. Out it goes. There's a Japanese player injured there. I think he took a bit of a heavy knock in that tackle. They're far smaller, the Japanese players, than the Scots. And when you think that maybe they've been playing for 65, 70 minutes now, to take the punishment that get. So Japan take the ball up, lost the ball there. Will it be penalised? I think that's a wrong decision, but never mind. The crowd certainly feel the same as me, but the referee's given a scrum. And again, Scotland, John Coomberley coming back onto the field. Seems to run off that injury he was shown before, and he comes back onto the field with this unlimited interchange log. And the Japanese number 10, he's had an outstanding game in terms of effort. Can't be faulted on that. He leaves the field, and Japan make a substitution also. Scotland then, forward again from the scrum, but Japan, that was a good tackle. And again, they've really worked hard. 100% effort, it's certainly what you need to play this game. As Coomberley comes in and fires a long ball out, rush to Ribeiro, he feeds it on. Valentine, probably his first mistake of the game there, but it was a crunch tackle. Scotland play the ball out on the left wing. Ribeiro puts it back in. And Scotland take it up to just on the 20-metre line there. Coomberley in at first receiver. He runs across. Look forward, but no. Play on. The ball comes out. And the knock on there, yeah, I thought so. He released it backwards, but it bounced back into his hands, so it must have gone forward at some point. Burns there probably just telling his players, OK, we're 78 points to 6 up, but let's not force it too much. As they pat down, Japan need to hold the weight. They've lost the big number 10, but they've held the weight in the pack. But a mistake there, and Scotland recover possession through Coomberley, and that'll be a 0 tackle. Out it goes, through one pair of hands, 2 pairs of hands, and that's try time again for Alistair Blee from Loughborough University. 82 points. In a game of rugby league, that is phenomenal. What a rate of scoring, over a point a minute. Not every day you can say you've seen that. 82 points to 6. One would expect that the Scots would ease up, but no, they haven't done. They've kept going. The intensity's been there throughout, and certainly they're ready in their own minds to face the English and the French. I think they play the French next, and that game's on Tuesday, and that'll be played at Gateshead, and they're ready for that, certainly. I don't think they've picked up any injuries, so they're ready and fired up, whereas the French, they meet the Japanese. Oh no, sorry, the English meet the Japanese. So that'll give the English a chance to redeem themselves from the loss today, the defeat, and it'll give the Japanese another chance to show the skills that they do possess and hopefully get a few more points on the table. They've not come here to lose. Nobody comes halfway down the world to lose, and they've come here to give it everything they've got, and I'm sure a victory is not too far away for the Japanese either. So Rush again. He's done well with the kicking duty since he took them over from Graham Thompson. Just strokes the ball, but he pushed it across the face of the goals. Not of primary importance at the moment though, Rush's goal kicking. Not when you consider that he scored 16 tries. So here we go again. Getting ready for A restart as Roche kicks the ball. And the Japanese have got an option now. What did he do with it? Where did he go? Up the middle, says that man, but he's crunched. Gets up and plays it though. And that's a good quick play of the ball. Good run in there from the acting half back to the first player. Gets up again and plays it. Out it goes this time. And again. Good running. That was lightning fast. Well done. He's impressed me today, the number 4. The captain. Play. They're up to halfway now, the Japanese. But they lose the ball. What's the referee giving here? I think he's giving a knock-on at some point, and I think he's giving the feed to the Scots. No, sorry, corrected. He's giving the scrum and the feed to the Japanese. So Yata Koko, I think that's how you pronounce his name anyway. The number 4 for Japan has had an excellent game. Really impressive. He's fast, he tackles well, and as captain he's certainly led his team by example. Him and Mannix, who really have done the business for Japan today. And to say that for 2 people who are on a losing team really is a compliment to them both. They played exceptionally well. Mannix again moves it out. He's tried everything he knows today. Again, he's in there acting half-back. He's steadying the ship. Oh, just go and give him the highest praise I possibly can. And number 4 makes probably his first mistake of the game. The crowd don't agree with the referee, but that was a knock-on. And even Japan's best players now, they're getting tired. And they're making mistakes. So Russia feed the scrum. The Scots pack, they're going in, and the ball's in very quickly, and out it comes. And again, a blindside move. But you're not going to get anywhere trying to run through 6 forwards. Comes out, Burns again, no runners, so he goes on his own. He knows how to do it. There's only one way that Mark Burns knows, and that's forward. Gets up and plays the ball. McCarthy, he's had a good game. The Scottish backs really have shown the legs today. The ball, John Coombe really there. Good pass out inside to Ribeiro. Ribeiro steps away from one, but 2 players hang on to him. Burns passes it out. Coombe Lilly through to Rush. Out to Valentine. Is Valentine going to get number 7? He is. Now, if it wasn't a record at 6, then it surely must be a record at 7.
Some sort of record. Size of the 7, John Valentine.
And being repeated, there's an echo in this place. I don't think he's going to want to come off at the end of today. He's ready. He wants to play England and France now, I think, tonight, Valentine. Take on the world after scoring 7 tries. But it's going to be a different kettle of fish in the next 2 games, surely. (86-6). Can Rush make it 88? No, he can't. An apology as well to John Ballantyne, the Scottish try scorer with 7 tries. I've been calling you Valentine out. I do apologise if you're listening. Score another try and I'll get your name right. Rush kicks off. And again, it's the same as we were seeing in the first half. Not particularly good kick-off by the Scots, but the Japanese just didn't know what to do with it, and that was unfortunate. Not too many players really could have dealt with that kick. It was spinning awkwardly, and rugby league balls don't bounce very well at the best of times. So Kevin Rudd, this prop come scrum half, come try scorer, feeds and passes it out to Rust, the listed scrum half for the start of this game. He just takes the ball up in his new standoff role, plays it to Rudd. Really has worked well today, is Rudd. And Burns is in there now. He's got out of the scrum and he's there for the second play of the ball, and he gives it to Rush, who turns it inside excellently. The Scots, they've got the ball. They've certainly gone over the line, but they haven't put the ball down. Kevin Rudd held up to hold somebody up, to put the commitment in to hold somebody up over the line. The signs of Kevin Rudd at this stage in the game take some effort, and that's certainly what the Japanese have done today. They've put the effort in and they're keen. Someone down in back play, looks like a little bit of cramp. We're just waiting for the scrum to pat down as somebody gets a bit of treatment for what looks like cramping back play. The referee's holding play up, it's a sensible thing to do. Are we going to have a restart yet though? Not quite sure what's going on. Surely the idea now is to get the player off the pitch. Of course, it could be more serious than cramp. Let's hope it's not. Nobody likes to see a player injured. There's a couple of people working on him over there. The Japanese player getting a warm round of applause from this Warrington crowd. I say a Warrington crowd, people have probably come from all over the area today, just to see Kevin Rudd, in fact. But he's had an excellent game then before he's gone off. Coombe Lilly seems to have moved into scrum half. Got it out to Russ. Rudd fed his backs. And, excuse me, Alistair Blee. It looks as though he's managed to fight his way over. That try took some scoring. The Scots are enjoying this. That's a hat-trick. So we've got three hat-tricks if you count that Ballantyne has scored 7. That's 2 hat-tricks to him. And now also Alistair Blee, he's also got his hat-trick. So knowing exactly what the Scots do to celebrate their games, they'll be celebrating tonight in some style. The Pipes will be playing after this game for sure. $90 points to 6. You've got to be optimistic in this game though, and the Japanese have got to realise, you know, it can only get better for them. Things can't get any worse than this, and to the credit, they've played some excellent football today, stuff that they can go home, they can tell their friends about, tell their families about, something they can be proud of. They've taken part in today's game in their first ever outing in the Student Rugby League World Cup against Scotland. And Scotland have managed to run up a final score of 90 points to 6 in an excellent performance by them. But Japan, they've got a lot of promise, and let's hope that in the next game they can do just a little bit more.